Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Hello! Welcome back to Multiplex Loves Movies.
Fandom Menace.
Right at the beginning of the show, as always. It's a sad day when the macaw is not present. So, in order to qualm any feelings the audience might have, I'm just going to give you a quick glance. There she is. She's fine. She has homework. So she's not on the program today, but she's here in spirit right over there. But on the show, I'm Tim. I'm the host. Fuck. We also have the man with the pink hair that was once blue, that was once white, that was once something blonde. I know him.
Man of many hair dyes.
The many colors. Kaleb and the Technicolor hair.
Kaleb and the Technicolor dream hair. There we go.
How are you doing, Caleb?
I'm doing good. My hair matches the show now, so I'm just gonna collect them all. Eventually, I'll hit the green for fandom at some point. But I'm glad to be here. I love being on MLM. It was a fun weekend of stuff to talk about, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nick, you haven't been here in many moons because you're usually delivering pies like you're Peter Parker. How are you doing though?
I'm doing good. Peter Parker, yeah, he does the.
I know, but I hope you're not that slow.
He's swinging, and then he only stops because he has the danger. Anyway, I'm off track here. Happy to be here, Tim. Thank you.
Cody, welcome back. Maggie's not here to share in your negativity. How does that make you feel?
Well, you approached me 5 minutes before this show, and you said, Cody, can't have Maggie on the show. So I need the biggest asshole I can find. And you said, can you be on the show? I said, sure. Why not? I don't give a shit about Golden Globes, and we're not talking about the Snyder Cut, so it won't be as negative, but
it's
apparently Superman somewhere, so cool.
Superman is
talk about the motion picture.
We're actually the motion picture. So we are going to start off actually talking about some Superman news. We're going to talk about some other news before we get to the Golden Globe recap, but we're going to start off. Superman is getting rebooted for some fucking reason. J.J. Abrams, I believe, is to just produce this. He will not be directing or anything as far as I know. And the writer, his name is Ta-Nehisi Coates. I hope I'm saying that right. I think I'm just like butchering it probably, but he will be on as the writer. So I believe he's writing the screenplay for an upcoming Coogler movie. And then he also wrote Black Panther, didn't he? Yeah.
The comic book run that inspired the
comic book run. That's what I saw. I was like, he did something with Black Panther. That's what it was. So clearly this guy like knows comic stuff and has worked with a lot of people. My main question is, why do we hate Henry Cavill? Like, I get it. Man of Steel, not the best. BVS, not the best. Justice League, not the best. He hasn't been in a movie where he's gotten to really prove how good he can be. But I think he's great. I genuinely do. The problems with those movies were not Henry Cavill and not Ben Affleck. I like both of them in those characters. This makes me really sad that we're just kind of saying, like, DC's just a mess. Like, why are we – what are we doing? What are we doing? Nick, how do you feel about Henry Cavill kind of being pushed to the side for a reboot?
I've been dying for it, but not because I dislike Henry Cavill or Ben Affleck. I want the DC universe to be rebooted. So the fact that we get news that's just Superman is being rebooted, it's like you're doing it again. You're doing the exact same thing. I'm caught in a time loop. I feel like it's 10 years ago where you're like, Christopher Nolan's going to produce a Superman movie. And it's like, great. Oh, and there's a Wayne thing, but you don't have a plan. You clearly are starting over again without a plan, and I'm frustrated. So either continue on the crappy universe you've made so far and try and make it better. Because like Marvel had a misstep here and there, not to compare everything to Marvel, but like they did it right. So look, try and make it better or start over from scratch. Don't like start over some things, but make another Wonder Woman movie in the universe. I'm getting annoyed. This news is frustrating. Also, J.J. Abrams can't just save everything. I realize he did good with Star Wars, kind of, not really, and then Star Trek he did good with. I approve of that, but like, gosh.
Mission Impossible type.
Oh yeah, Mission Impossible as well. Cody, Nick brings up an interesting point about this kind of being a solo, like we're just rebooting Superman. Kind of what they're doing right now with Batman too, with Matt Reeves as Batman. How do you feel about this, and what do you think about J.J. Abrams?
So J.J. Abrams is the savior of franchises. I think because regardless what you care about Force Awakens, he was able to do something that George Lucas wasn't able to do with the trilogy before. But the thing that needs to happen more than anything is just a reboot in general. I believe that Gal Gadot is good as Wonder Woman. I believed that Ben Affleck was good as Batman. I believe all these characters had Jason Momoa was a good Aquaman. The MCU started with Iron Man, right? And got off the gates hot. Basically, the DCEU started with Thor: The Dark World. And then made Guardians 2 to follow up with BVS. Like, in my opinion, I hate Guardians 2. This is maybe a bad example, but like, what's the worst one? I think Thor: The Dark World.
Maybe.
I don't know. Captain Marvel. They're not doing anything massive. They didn't. They wanted to be so different than the MCU, so they didn't want to follow the same exact storyline. But if the coach across the court is calling better plays, might as well copy him because it's working out for him. I think it needs to be rebooted. Henry Cavill's fine, but overall, Superman's a stupid character. I've always said that. I don't think the character is good whatsoever. His glasses is his alter ego. Like, I'm so proud of the people of Metropolis that are jackasses that can't see fucking glasses on a giant brick man that's walking around. But yeah, I think J.J. Abrams was a smart choice. I'd just rather he direct it, but I know that he doesn't want to step anywhere near the Warner Brothers because they're not going to give anybody creative control. Like, they're not, even Patty Jenkins, you can see everything in every movie. Studio control here, studio control there, studio control here. Like, it's so apparent. So I wouldn't be, if I'm a director, there's not a chance in hell I work for that. And J.J. Abrams can try, but Nolan was a producer on Man of Steel, and he was successful with Batman, and that, look where it got you. So unless you're in the directing chair and you say, hey, do it, and I hope it's good, it's never going to work out. So I don't care who plays him next. It's just not going to work out, I don't think.
Koho, you love the soups. Also, I want to bring up the fact that J.J. Abrams has written a Superman script before, and by all accounts, it's terrible.
It's awful.
Where Lex Luthor becomes a Kryptonian and a god, and like just like this, like really like just out there, beyond Superman stuff. So, Koho, how do you feel about this news? Being a big Superman fan?
I'm okay with saying goodbye to Henry Cavill. I like him. I think he did a good job. But at the same time, he's not in a lot of movies that I think really service that character really well. And it's a bummer that we won't really get to see him in a movie where he gets to be Superman. But I think it is time to move on and try something new. Superman and Lois just premiered, and I was very skeptical of it. Watch the pilot. It's great. They nail it.
I heard it was good. Yeah.
They nail. That's like the Superman I've been waiting to see forever. Like, Tyler Hoechlin nails it. So I believe that DC knows how to make a Superman movie and do a good one. And I think they can do it. I'm just a little concerned that J.J. Abrams is involved, especially because Superman Flybys, the script for that is like really bad, like really, really bad. So as long as he's not writing it, and the guy who is writing it, I also don't really know how to say his name. He wrote the seminal Black Panther run, like the Black Panther comic run. That's like kind of like the most definitive thing for the character in the last 20 years in comics. So he knows how to do mythology and take characters that have long kind of been like not super popular and like kind of fix them for modern day and like give them new life. I trust him with Superman. and I trust I trust that he can make that movie good. I just don't trust J.J. Abrams.
Nick, you look like you have something you want to say.
Am I crazy, or didn't like Justice League? Isn't Jeff Johns a comic writer that they brought on for Justice League, or am I crazy?
He didn't write Justice League.
Okay, I thought they had input from a comic book writer. I have nothing against the person writing it, nor do I have anything for them. To me, they're just a big question mark. So, like, it's weird if you're going to start over like this without a plan and get a writer who's never written a movie that's come out before.
Yeah.
I also will say I'm okay if this doesn't connect to a new DCU. If we just get a good Superman movie, because clearly they can't do a universe. So just give me a good movie. And if that good movie is good, then we can get a universe out of it. But like, I just want one good movie.
That's what they tried to do. Iron Man had a post-credit scene that was literally like, "Hey, in 2 years you're getting the Avengers. Get ready." Or 4 years, whatever. Have a plan.
I don't need a universe out of this though.
I think you do though. Like, so I understand as a studio you want to see a Superman and have the character of Superman back on screen. But at the end of the day, if it never led to the Justice League, then the point of Superman going around, because the world is built off each other. They're there. Everybody knows that Batman's here and Flash is here and Green Lantern's there and this. So you want to see those characters, and they have what has everybody's always told me basically is like Marvel, like the characters of DC are the top echelon of characters basically, because you got Batman, you got Superman, you got Wonder Woman, you got Flash, you got these characters. And Iron Man, those shouldn't have worked the way they did, and they worked out perfectly. Right. If Tony Stark was able to build it in a cave with a box of scraps, Batman should be able to work with a Superman. Like, that's the frustrating part of this. It's just, I understand, like, Joker sits by itself, and I understand there's so many mixed things about Joker, but that's part of the reason I love Joker so much, is because it's a character piece of Joker, but I want to see Superman either fight Batman or team up with Batman. Joker can be by himself. I want that. That's what I want. And I just don't. They just need to fire whoever's the creative director over there. Like, they need to find Kevin Feige. They need to find a Feige that has ultimate control.
True.
You could do it. You're wearing a hat.
He's got the hat.
You could pull it off.
2024. Here we go.
That was something that broke right before.
Not rated R.
Earlier today that it's being filmed that they're going to start filming Blade this year, but we're not going to talk about that. But that did break actually today. So we're going to move on to the next thing that is a little bit of Marvel news. Spider-Man has a title. No Way Home. Okay. Sure. All right. I remember when Homecoming. The title was released for Homecoming, and I was like, "Oh, it's and they released like the synopsis. I'm like, it's play on words because he's going to Homecoming, but also he's like coming home to the MCU. Like, that's cool." And then the second one came out. It was like Far From Home. I'm like, oh, because he's not in the States. He's not in New York. So he's away from home. So it's far from home. Okay, we're going with the home thing. Okay, so No Way Home. Sure. This all but confirms the multiverse. We've talked about it forever. He's probably going to get sucked into the Sam Raimi verse, and then some other I'm convinced now that it's not Doc Ock coming to the MCU timeline or Electro coming here. It's he's going there, and he can't get home. Okay, whatever. We'll find out. The movie will probably be fine. But I think the title is just like, why do we have to do the home thing? I don't really like, okay, sure. I would have preferred the phone home with the ET. That was funny. I liked that. Cody, what do you think of the title?
I don't give a shit about the title. I don't ever care about a title of a film ever in any way, shape, or form. Remember, I was sitting watching my TV when the Star Wars announcement and the letters went red and it said Last Jedi, and I went, fucking let's go. And then Last Jedi came out and it was a pile of shit. So listen, the title actually means nothing to me whatsoever. No Way Home, that's fine. I love Spider-Man, and I love what Tom Holland and that team is able to accomplish with them. I think Homecoming is like in my top 10. I love Homecoming as a film. I think it's one of the best like portrayals of Spider-Man. And I just love that Feige saw in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and said, let's make this live action. And he is the man, that group behind it, whatever. I know it's Sony and MCU and there's a bunch of blah. But I am so pumped for this. I don't like people said there's just too many characters. Fucking keep adding them. Keep adding them. I hope like a mailman from Spider-Man 1 shows up. I hope that maybe Uncle Ben, probably from the first one, he probably passed away, but maybe there's a tombstone, like all that shit. I want everything. I want all the Uncle Bens in the graveyard together. I don't care. Add everything that we can go and keep this happening, because this is what I absolutely want in Spider-Man. Spider-Verse made me finally, like, my brain open up and be like, holy shit, we can make this happen. And I'm so happy that we get to see Koho back in the theater and has to see Tobey Maguire on fucking screen as Spider-Man. He's probably going to have a pot belly in that spandex, and I can't fucking wait for it. Let's go. Doc, I don't know where it goes, but this is, you could have named this Spider-Man and the Clusterfuck, and I would be there day one, ready to fucking go. This is my most anticipated MCU movie of all time. There's not even close. I am so ready for this movie. Oh, I am a flippin' Spider-Man apologist. Spider-Man 3 is not that bad. Let's go. Let's make this shit happen tomorrow. I'm so ready.
Well, you're gonna have to wait till Christmas. But Koho,
is it coming out on Christmas?
Christmas, baby.
Coming out December 18th. So like
this year?
Yeah,
this Christmas.
This year? What? Yeah! I thought this was like 2 years away. This year.
Yeah.
Can I pre-order?
I think it's coming out December 17th, the week before Christmas.
Oh, I'm driving to Madison. Oh, hell yeah.
Well, we will be
Milwaukee.
Madison, yeah.
Milwaukee. I'm driving to Milwaukee. We're seeing this together. Let's go. This has just made my entire night.
That's great.
I'm glad you'll leave your family on Christmas.
I'll be back by Christmas. I'm not. If it was on the 25th, I wouldn't see it, but the 18th, yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Koho.
So glad she's leaving after on Christmas. Holy shit. If this is a live action Spider-Verse, I hope Tobey Maguire is the Peter Parker that gets his ass killed in the first 5 minutes, so I don't have to watch him for the whole movie. But I am excited for this movie. I think it's gonna be good. I'm so hyped that Alfred Molina's back in some way, shape, or form, because he's my favorite part of those movies, or at least of two. But I think Jamie Foxx might be good with a good script and a good movie and a different Electro. We'll see how it goes. Maybe he's not blue this time. Who knows? No Way Home's a fine title. I like that they keep the home thing. Cool. I also just think it's funny that every time we reach the end of a Spider-Man run, we get bigger. Spider-Man 3 is like 3 villains. Amazing Spider-Man 2, universe is gonna happen. Spider-Man No Way Home, fucking multiverse. Everything's in it. And I'm just like, okay, all right, I'm here for it. So we'll see.
Nick, you are probably the biggest critic and lover of the MCU that I know. How do you feel about all this Spider-Man stuff?
Well, the pattern Koho just listed makes me very nervous, considering he named 2 shit movies. And then was like, oh, let's go even bigger with this one. I don't mean to. First of all, when Cody was talking about Uncle Ben, he was like, maybe there's a tombstone. I kept laughing because I was just picturing like Spider-Man and Uncle Ben's tombstone, like on an adventure.
Like Oddward, but Uncle Ben?
Yeah.
Oh!
I'll start with the title. I'm sort of similar. I think Endgame is kind of shitty. It's not a great title. Didn't love it. The announcement when they said, but I love the movie.
Endgame now.
I think Thor: The Dark World is kind of a cool title. Not a great film. So the title doesn't really matter. The home theme is strange. It's kind of odd at this point, but whatever. I guess you're all in. That's fine. Is no one going to talk about the fact that every time a Spider-Man franchise starts and they try to throw in every villain in the last one, the franchise has to start over? Because I'm getting very worried.
Feige's on this one, though.
I hope it's going to be good. I know he is, and I'm happy, but it's not just Feige. Like Feige
has creative control.
Okay, there's a team effort.
I love how clinched Nick is about this movie. He's like, ah!
I'm excited. I'm so excited for it. I'm glad it comes out this year. I'm going to see it. 1 second, Cody. I'm going to see it. I hope it's going to be good. I hope the fact that like they might be bringing in the Amazing Spider-Man and the Raimi Spider-Man, I hope that works. If it does, cool. I'm just a little skeptical, especially since, spoiler alert, the most recent thing put out from the MCU has not been my favorite. But Cody, yes.
So this man once had Captain America get the shit kicked out of him, and then hold his hand out, and a hammer came, and then fucking holes opened up, and the entire MCU walked fucking out on a battlefield, and they battled for like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So if anybody can put a bunch of shit together in one movie, it's Kevin Feige, and I trust the man. So.
Well, yeah, but that's a little different.
Give me the portals and Potbelly Maguire.
They spent years setting up those characters for that finale.
Here's my question. My mind might be going again. When is Doctor Strange going? When is Doctor Strange coming out?
Following May. So May of next year.
Oh, now Multiverse is after?
Yes.
Yeah, they moved Multiverse later.
Is that going to fit now?
Kevin says it does.
Okay.
Well, I was like, wait, doesn't this Multiverse of Madness have to happen before the multiverse?
You're right, because Doctor Strange is in this, isn't he?
No,
I have a theory.
That makes sense. Because shit's going to go crazy. Shit's going to go crazy in Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange's going to have to put some shit back together.
I think it might even be sooner than that.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Like, you're talking about, like, on Friday?
Yeah, like within the next week.
What's happening? Oh, I don't watch it because it's not a movie. But anyways,
very fair. I commend you for that.
WandaVision is better than a lot of the movies.
No, but listen, guys. At the end of the day, does it really effing matter anymore? Because we're gonna see 3 fucking Spider-Mans on screen together.
I will say
next, like, so. The fuck you say maybe?
Maybe. There's a chance that I don't think Maguire, Garfield, and Holland are all on screen at the same time in this movie.
I mean,
I think he might see Maguire and he might see Garfield. I don't think they're all going to be together.
Hold on.
I think they might. I'm just saying there's a chance.
Stop talking. You're telling me. I'm sorry. I forgot. Man that says DC is better than Marvel sitting over here telling me how it's going to work. But if you think they're missing a shot where the 3 of them run into each other and see that moment, you think Kevin Feige's like, we'll have Garfield like order a sandwich at a store over here and then walk down the street and grab a pizza from Parker.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is, of course they're going to try and take that shot. I'm just saying there might be a chance that it doesn't happen.
Willem Dafoe's in this.
Yeah, he is. Willem Dafoe's in this, baby. Let's go.
Tim, I'm be on your doorstep December 17th. Be ready for me. I'm coming.
I will say this. As a friend of mine once said, that friend being Nick Twohig, no matter what happens in Phase 4, whether you like Spider-Man and the craziness, whether you like WandaVision, whether you like the TV shows, whether you like the new characters in the new movies, we will always have Iron Man to Endgame. We will always have that. There are a couple duds in there, but overall, we will always have that. So this could turn out great, and it could be a great continuation from Endgame. This could be poo and a disaster, and it'll hurt, but we always have that first thing, and I think that's important. Okay, let's move on because we have a lot to get to. We spent a lot of time on Spider-Man, which is great. That was really fun. The next thing I want to talk about, we're going to stay on Tom Holland. And we're going to talk about, he had some interesting things to say about his Uncharted movie. So he was talking in an interview to promote his new film, his new Russo brothers film, actually, Cherry. He was talking about his time on Uncharted. And he had a very interesting quote that I'll read, and then I want to see what you guys think. So his quote was basically talking about how he was feeling a little bit nervous that he kind of got distracted from the acting part of the job. And here's what he said. As soon as you start worrying about, do I look good in this shot, acting becomes something other than playing a character. I think there are elements of my performance in Uncharted where I kind of fell under the spell of being, I want to look good now. I want this to be my cool moment. I had to play this very tough, very stoic guy, basically be Mark Wahlberg. My character is supposed to be a fucking action hero in this moment. Look, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if I succeeded, but it was an important lesson learned. because at times it was less about land a mark and go through this scene and more about land a mark, stand like this, and see my bulging biceps. It was a mistake, and it's something I will probably never do again. So I think this is, first off, maybe some bad news for the Uncharted movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which I haven't. I mean, I'm excited for because I like Tom Holland. I like Uncharted, so I'm excited. We've talked about it on this show, but doesn't get me super excited about that movie. That being said, this makes me love Tom Holland even so much more because he made a movie. We haven't seen it yet. He hasn't seen it yet, but he realizes in retrospect that he probably made some bad choices that aren't good for his career, and that's not the type of actor he wants to be. And I kind of love that. I think it's really mature of him, and I think that's really cool for someone who really got kind of overnight wildly famous. He had been in a couple movies. He had been in The Impossible and in Locke as a voice, but like not much else. And
That
all of a
giant
sudden,
whale movie.
What?
That one giant whale movie with Hemsworth.
Oh yeah, In the Heart of the Sea. Yeah, I forgot he was in that. So he kind of got really famous overnight. So this is awesome to hear him talk like this. I love this. Koho, what do you think?
I like Tom Holland. Like, I genuinely think he's a good actor. He's probably a really cool dude. Like, just from every interview, he seems like a really cool dude. I'm a little worried about the movie from the way he's talked about how it was filmed and how he had to do things. And like, it feels a little bit more like they're trying to force a big budget sort of version of a kind of Indiana Jones, but not quite Indiana Jones, instead of just making what Uncharted is, which is like a love letter to Indiana Jones and those kind of movies. Instead of like embracing what those movies are about, it feels a little bit more like they're just trying to make it look like Indiana Jones and not feel like Indiana Jones. And look like Uncharted, but not feel like Uncharted. And that's worrisome. But I hope it's good. I want it to be good because I love those games, especially 4. So,
Nick, do you have any thoughts on this?
No, I don't know much about Uncharted. I played it once at a friend's house. I'm not very good at video games. They laughed at me. Yeah. The comments are it's very. I've never tried acting before. I always thought it might be something kind of cool to do, but like I've never really thought about it beyond like, oh, stand there, like say the thing. So it is kind of cool to hear someone so young, so wrapped up in like the fame to be like, hey, I think I made a mistake, and we don't even know if the mistake has been made yet. So like, that's kind of cool to hear. Also, I'm a little worried he's just saying this to distract us all from the fact that like, or No Way Home might not be good.
God damn it.
Awesome. Cody, thoughts?
I've always been hesitant for the Uncharted movie. I love the games, but I didn't know how they translated it. And once they cast Tom Holland, I was a little bit like, not who I would have went with, because I think he needs to be a little older to be Nathan Drake. Not saying that Tom Holland couldn't play it, but like Nathan Drake does not look like Tom Holland in the movies whatsoever. I think he'll be fine in it. I think the movie will be as okay as best. I don't think it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to capture the magic from those games, because those games are pretty much Indiana Jones, basically. And it's hard to do those games without ripping off Indiana Jones, basically. And there has to be that dynamic between the friends in that movie. There's a lot that they took on a task that I don't think they were ready for. He needs to apologize for this chaos walking or whatever thing that I keep seeing.
It comes out Friday. It looks bad.
It looks terrible. I don't know why he's talking about it. I don't know why he's apologizing for Uncharted when it didn't come out, but this has got like clouds around their fucking head and they can hear each other's thoughts. It looks fucking weird. But hey, at the end of the day, every actor out there has a bad role or a bad movie or a bad something, or took a project that they shouldn't have took. You ever see Tom Hanks in Cloud Atlas? I bet he has regrets. So like, even the best actor at times doesn't always pick the best role. He probably saw the paycheck before he saw the work requirement, and then was like, shit, I'm gonna really fuck this up. Like, so hey, I will go see Uncharted. I think it's gonna be just like another video game movie. I think Uncharted would have been better as a TV series, just like they're doing with The Last of Us. I think those two play perfectly into like a 4-season run of adventures and quests and stuff like that. There's a lot to build on. So, 2 hours, you can only do so much with a treasure hunting movie that's not with a fedora and a whip. So, yeah. Sorry, Tom. You'll be fine. You're Spider-Man.
All right. Let's move on to the last thing before we talk about the Golden Globes. And this is just something that brought a giant smile to my face. Luca, we got the first teaser. First off, this animation looks incredible. I was super surprised by the look of the animation. I wasn't expecting it to look the way it did. It looks uncharacteristically Pixar while also looking just gorgeous. And I thought the trailer was hilarious. Now we know a little bit more about what kind of the dealio is with the movie. Did we all see the trailer? Did we all watch it? Okay. I know Cody watched it because him and I messaged about it. But there's the poster was released as well with one of the boys laying in the water. I would assume that is Luca. And in the boy in the water, above the water, he looks like the boy, and under the water, he looks like the sea creature or whatever. And I showed the poster to Maggie, and she goes, "Oh, it's pretty." And I said, "Yeah, and look how it was before the trailer." I said, "And look, he's like a fish man underwater." And Maggie goes, "Oh fuck, I didn't even see that." And I was like, so then the trailer came out and it just had me rolling. I thought it was really smart, really funny. The bit at the end where he spits the water onto the other kid and half of his face like turns into like Fish Boy, I thought was hilarious. I'm very excited about this movie now. Nick, Luca, what'd you think?
Yeah, looked good. I love Pixar, and this is the kind of Pixar I love. I just want to throw it out there. I'm going to place bets now that Luca is not the main kid. Because for a very long time, I thought Coco was going to be the kid with the guitar in Coco. Wound up not being the case. I'm betting Luca is like a long-lost sea captain they have to find in order to make people be okay with the fact that they're fish. I don't know. But it looks really good. I'm actually really excited for it. The concept is cool. And yeah, man, like I loved Onward, like probably more than most people. Onward's like crawling into my top 5 of Pixar. So I'm liking I didn't love Soul as much as everyone else, but like I think we're back on the Pixar streak that I like to see. I think we hit like a thing where like, oh, Brave was fine. Oh, okay, The Good Dinosaur. Sequel to Finding Nemo. Everything was just fine, but now we're getting back to that like top tier.
Yeah, starting with Toy Story 4.
Incorrect.
I was very nervous that he was about to compare Soul as one of those speed bumps, and I was like, what the shit?
No, I can call it speed bump. I think I was a little disappointed by Soul, but I still think it's very good.
Update. I just looked on IMDb. Jacob Tremblay is voicing a character named Luca. So I'm going to go ahead and say he's one of the
I think he's an old sea captain.
Voiced by Jacob Tremblay. Yeah, so I didn't even realize that the cast on here is the 2 kids are Jacob Tremblay and Jack Dylan Grazer from Shazam and It. So new filmographies coming in 2022. Cody, what do you think of the trailer?
I absolutely love this trailer. It is a way different animation style than Pixar is used to doing. It's basically said, hey, DreamWorks, hold my beer, and I'll make a movie that you intend to make with your animation, but I'll make it a good story and fantastic animation. The movie is, like, I know there's no way an animated feature can ever win best cinematography, but that thing is fucking beautiful and crisp. I think it's one of the I think it has the potential to be like that Good Dinosaur looking. Like they're not going for the realism effect of it, but like that side of it, I think it's probably going to be the most beautiful Pixar movie. And I had no clue that was happening. Like when that stuff ended up, the twist happened when they became the fish people. I was like, I thought these boys were just going to get gelato in Italy or something. Like I thought this was just going to be like we're somewhere else. Let's have fun. And they fucking turned into fish people, and I was like, damn. I think it's cool. I think it's a really cool concept. I don't know where it goes from here. I understand it's kind of like a How to Train Your Dragon, like accepting the people that are different than you, but it's a good story, good animation, and I'm with you. Me and my 3-year-old laughed our butts off when we saw the spitting of the water. Like, she asked me if I was okay like 3 or 4 times because I was like, it was hard breathing. So no, I'm so ready for Luca. Luca looks fantastic.
Koho, thoughts on the trailer?
This movie looks great. I saw a comment on the trailer for it on YouTube that said Pixar presents Call Me by Your Shape of Water. I thought that was kind of funny.
I wasn't gonna say it, but like,
Son of a
Call Me by Your Name came into my head when I.
But yeah, it looks great.
Your Shape of Water.
It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited for it. Cool idea. I didn't know that Jack Dylan Grazer and Jacob Tremblay were in it, and you said those 2 names, and I'm like, let's go. I will watch Jack Dylan Grazer's career with great interest for the rest of my life. Because I love him in It. I love him in Shazam. I think
that's a bold strategy.
Beautiful Boy. I think he's great in all of them. I think he's hilarious. He's a very talented kid. So I'm very excited to see him work with Pixar. So
you're like one of the people that saw Corey Feldman in 3 things and said, "Mike, I'm done," and then it did.
He's like great. Also. Like he's a really, really funny kid. I think he's gonna do, and he's very good in Beautiful Boy. So
it's really Game of Thrones. When was he in? He was in Beautiful Boy.
Yeah, he's the younger version of Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, that's right.
He's
really Game of Thrones. Did you say?
No, I was quoting Shazam.
I was like,
it gets real Game of Thrones around here.
Yeah. Okay, so Luca coming to theaters and probably Disney Plus this June. So we will see it this year in June. So I'm very excited about that. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're now gonna talk about the Golden Globes, the winners of the movie stuff mainly. Unless there's something about TV. Nick, you know nothing about this stuff. So with that, Nick, thank you for being on the program. We're going to talk about the Golden Globes without Nick. He can stay backstage or he can watch live and troll us in the comments. I don't know. But Nick, thank you for being here. Cody, Koho, let's talk about these awards. So we'll start with the big ones. Best Picture Drama, Nomadland. It beats out The Father, Mank, Promising Young Woman, Trial of the Chicago 7. Yeah, this makes sense. Yep. I have no problems with this. If I want out of those ones, I probably wanted Promising Young Woman to win. But I liked Nomadland. I think the movie's fine, but I think she's excellent, which we'll get to. But yeah, I thought this makes sense. Cody, what do you think?
Frances McDormand has to poop in a bucket in this film. I mean, I saw somebody's review and I couldn't kind of agree a little bit more. Spence, I think it was even Spence's comment. Basically, this movie was kind of hard for me to watch. Just with like the quarantine and everything going on, and like feeling alone sometimes during this like pandemic. It's a rough kind of watch because she was basically on her own. So like seeing that come out this year was a little bit of a rough like undertaking. Like some people like I can just imagine running this pandemic like not having my family with me or being alone, like trying to do it yourself. Like it would just seem like pretty daunting. And I know it doesn't take place in like COVID time, that entire like time, but like that's how it felt. Like it felt like very saddening. I think it's a fine movie. It's not my favorite of the year. I think Promising Young Women was like a groundbreaking film that came out this year that changed the kind of game. I think that Nomadland, like cinematography, stuff like that, it should win because it's a beautiful looking film, basically. And I think Chicago would be my like second, and Nomad would be third. But other than that, I had no real issue with this one at all.
Go.
Having now, as of today, seen all 5 of those nominees, this is my third place, personally. I think Promising Young Woman and Trial I liked more. This was smart money. Like, if you were going to be betting, this is probably the one you put money on. It's like the Oscar favorite. Everyone's really liking this movie. Because it was the Globes, I was like, they don't typically go for the movie that ends up being the best picture. They usually go for the flashy movie. I thought maybe Trial or Promising Young Woman would have won, like, sneakily, especially with some of the freaking upsets that happened later in the night. But yeah, Nomadland winning was kind of a nice, predictable way to bring the coaster to a halt.
All right. Talking about Best Picture musical comedies, I would like to receive my $100 bill from Maggie Brzakala at any time because Borat's subsequent movie film won Best Musical or Comedy. I don't care. It beat out Hamilton, that music movie that we aren't talking about, Palm Springs, and The Prom. Out of those, I liked The Prom the best. I know I'm in the minority there. I really liked that movie. Well, okay, yeah, you're right.
I was gonna say,
I still don't think it's a movie, but yes, out of those 5 things, I like Hamilton the best. But of the ones that I would vote for, I would have voted for The Prom, and then Palm Springs, and then this. I didn't see music. I don't plan to see music. So, Koho, what do you think about Borat winning?
Borat was the favorite to win. It's the Globes. They love Sacha Baron Cohen. They didn't give Borat Best Comedy the first time. It lost to Dreamgirls, so everyone kind of like probably would have given it to Borat. It's like the movie that's the comedy that everyone's talking about, especially because they made it in the pandemic. I really am sad Hamilton got shut out in both categories. I thought it might have been able to sneak one of them, especially with Lin being nominated for actor. They love Lin. I thought maybe Lin was going to win his Golden Globe. But nope, Baron Cohen winning actor and picture. Borat didn't clean sweep, which was the big shocker to me. But yeah, I figured it was going to win. I would have just liked to have seen Hamilton or Palm Springs win. I liked both of them more. But yeah.
Cody?
I didn't like Borat. I turned it off. I think it's a comedy sequel that waited too long. And it just didn't work for me. The first one was kind of magic. But besides, I think Palm Springs is probably the best. I mean, Hamilton, since it's that stupid category that exists of musical and comedy, give it to the actual true musical on the field. I think it would be funny if Lin got a Golden Globe, 5 years later for his same performance he won a Tony for. That would be just...
He did win a Tony.
He didn't win.
Leslie.
Well, I know he won the Tony, and then I would say
he did not win the Tony.
He didn't win Best Actor. Leslie did.
Yeah.
The Tony.
Oh, then that makes more sense. Okay,
but he won a Tony for that musical, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it would have been funny to win something for both. Like that would have been. Yeah. It wasn't the actor nomination, so I said it wrong, but I meant what I said. Yeah. I think all the movie's music. I won't even. Yeah, there's no chance of ever seeing that movie, and
which makes me sad. Leslie's in it, but
yeah, I know. What was the other movie that was nominated? I couldn't think of it.
Probably did. You don't need to talk about it.
Oh, Prom was shit. So absolutely not. So no thanks.
Love Thy Neighbor is one of my favorite seasons of the year, though. We'll say
it's great. Okay, so one of the biggest upsets of the night. I believe this movie is now out on Hulu or Amazon. I don't know. It's Hulu. I haven't watched it yet. I'm now going to watch it, but I hear it's just kind of okay. We have Andra Day wins for the United States versus Billie Holiday. She upsets Frances McDormand in Nomadland, also upsetting Viola Davis and Ma Rainey's, Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman, and Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman. Now, I haven't seen Billie Holiday. I heard she was good. I heard the movie was fine. This is nuts. So either her performance is incredible, or this is just one of those weird Golden Globe moments. Because have you seen the movie, Koho?
Not yet, but she was 5th place in every prediction poll behind the other 4. Everyone was like, everyone thought Carey Mulligan was going to win. Like they thought Carey Mulligan was going to get it for Promising Young Woman for the Globe, and I put my own bet on Carey Mulligan. And when they said Andra Day, I was like, oh. Weird. I think my only thing I can use in my head to justify a lot of the wins in the acting categories that were new is that the Globes just voted for the thing they just saw, because Billie Holiday, Mauritanian both came out the last day of eligibility, and then And then Judas came out like 2 weeks ago. Ma Rainey's is like the oldest acting, and Borat are the two oldest acting nominees to win. But like, I think it's recency maybe for the Globes. It's just the thing that's freshest in their head. But like, that's kind of wild. She's definitely the 5th place now. There was a debate as if she was going to be in 5th place for the Oscar, and I guess now she's in 5th. So I don't think she wins.
Cody, what do you think?
So I had no clue about this movie. I'm gonna be honest with you. I expected to turn on Hulu and see Frances McDormand, everything from No Man Land because it came on Hulu. And then when I saw this movie pop up on Hulu, I said, "What was that?" And then it said the winner. I said, "What?" I hadn't even heard about this performance. So I'm excited to check it out. I mean, I think the character, like the biopic of Billie Holiday, is an interesting story, but I don't know like how she does it or what they. I just think like Viola, like I thought if you're not giving it to McDormand, I thought Viola Davis was going to win it because I think Viola or Carey Mulligan. I thought either one of them was fine. Those 3 performances, like you can't watch No Man Land. That movie rests solely on her. And you can't watch Promising Young Women without it solely rests on Carey Mulligan. Like, and then Viola Davis has Chadwick to play off of. But it's like I'm really surprised. I mean, hopefully the performance is amazing, or it's all going to be one of those like what the fuck moments where you, yeah. So
yeah. Okay, so best actor in a drama, Chadwick Boseman won for Ma Rainey's, as we predicted. He beats Riz Ahmed in Sound of Metal, Anthony Hopkins in The Father, Gary Oldman in Mank, and Tahar Rahim in The Mauritanian. I've seen all these now except for The Father. I did see The Mauritanian after we talked about the nominations. Mauritanian, pretty good movie, actually. Pretty decent movie. It comes out on digital. I think it actually came out on digital today. It is available to rent as of today. I recommend watching it. It's a hard watch, but I thought it was a very rewarding watch. So I would recommend checking it out. That being said, I think Chadwick Boseman, out of these, I would have given it to Riz Ahmed, but Chadwick Boseman, very deserved. He's great in Ma Rainey's. But yeah, this is a sad one, but it is what it is. Cody, what do you think?
Yeah, this is always a hard conversation to have, of him winning it, past his his passing. It's a great cap off for his career. Very short career because I think he was going to do outstanding work in this field. But yeah, when you rewatch that movie, his performance is just kind of crazy. Honestly, that end scene, basically, when he gets pushed to that point, is just and him justifying, it's crazy. That's the shock of this entire thing is it's the same thing that happened with Heath Ledger. You didn't know it was happening, so it when he passed, it was really rough for everybody. Chadwick, no one had any clue. I remember just turning on Twitter that day and finding out, and it was
yeah,
what are you talking about? This makes no sense whatsoever.
I found out because you sent the link into one of our admin chats. Yeah. And I was on my way I was at Tyler's house. We were on our way to go see New Mutants. It was the weekend that New Mutants came out. And I literally was just I looked at Tyler and Maggie and I was like, dude, it was that was rough.
That was a very
what do you think about the win? You're happy, I can tell.
Very. To me, he's the best performance of the year in any acting category. I think he was the best performance of the year. I love his performance in Ma Rainey's. From what I've seen of his career, I think this is his best performance. I haven't seen everything yet, obviously, but this is the best one for me. He's phenomenal. He was phenomenal. And the thing that broke me, his passing really affected me. And so when he won it was really nice. And his widow accepted the award, and her speech killed me. I have not cried at an award show like that ever.
I'll have to check it out.
It was great. I'm very happy that he won. He's the most deserving one of that group to me. It's a very good year for Best Actor. But I think that it stands just a little bit above the rest. So I'm very happy he won.
All right. Best actress in a musical or comedy. Rosamund Pike wins for I Care a Lot. This movie came out on Netflix on Friday. I've heard mixed things. There are people who really, really love this movie, and there are people who really, really don't like this movie. And all people that I know very well. So I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it now. Koho, I know you watched it. What did you think?
I really liked it. Boatman told me really negative things, and I was really worried to watch it. And I watched it, and I went, I don't know what you're talking about. I actually really enjoyed it. She's phenomenal. I think that she's great. I also think this is definitely category fraud. This movie is not a comedy whatsoever. And like I had put like my bet with the Gold Derby was Maria Bakalova wins for Borat. Borat clean sweeps. I thought that she was going to win it because, you know, Borat and she's new and her whole story is pretty great. But Rosamund Pike is the better performance. She is the best performance in that category. She makes you hate her the entire film. It's a very, very strong performance. I get why there's mixed reactions to the movie. But she definitely deserves an award for that performance. I just don't know if it's the musical or comedy award, personally.
Any thoughts, Cody?
I haven't seen it. Bowman said it was bad or didn't like it, gave it 2.5 stars, and then Koho gave it 4. So, and he's an early movie apologist, so that makes sense. Not really anything else. I'll check it out one day.
That's fair. All right, as we alluded to, best actor in a musical or comedy, I would like my other $100 bill from Maggie Brzakala delivered to me as soon as possible, because Sacha Baron Cohen wins for Borat. Shocker! I am sickest to my very core. Cody, what do you think?
Meh. Cool.
Koho?
He's got 2 Globes for playing Borat. Good for him. He shouldn't have won this one. I think that Sandberg and Lynn are better. Also, can we talk? I'm just glad that James Corden didn't win. I'm just so glad James Corden didn't win. He's the worst performance in the movie. Also, if you watch the show, he is high out of his mind on that Zoom call. Like, they cut to him during the night. He has just bloodshot red eyes, is looking all over the room. It's weird. But yeah, good for Sacha. I like Sacha Baron Cohen as an actor. He seems like a cool person. But yeah, I think this was either Lynn or Andy's to win.
All right. So next is supporting actress. Jodie Foster wins for The Mauritanian. As I said, I just saw the movie in the theater. I really liked it. I thought she was very good. There's a lot of good performances in this movie. Her, Zachary Levi is in it. Benedict Cumberbatch is in it. Shailene Woodley's in it. All of the performances are very good. Stacked cast. And yeah, she's very good. So this makes me happy. I like her. I still haven't seen The Father, as I said. But of the other ones that I've seen, I honestly would have given it to her. So, Koho, what did you think?
Yeah, again, this was the projected 5th place finisher in this category, and she won it. And now she's firmly one of the people to look out for. Maybe she nabs the Oscar nom later. Who knows? But supporting actress is the most wide open category of the night or of the year. I probably would have given it to either Amanda Seyfried or Glenn Close. I think both of those performances to me were just better of the nominees. Now, having seen Coleman's really good. But I also haven't seen Jodie Foster yet. She could be better than all of them. But yeah, that was just a really big shocker to me. I had predicted Seyfried to win. So I was like, okay.
Cody, any thoughts?
No, this is weird. This year's weird without going to the theater and without like doing the checklist of all the movies to go watch and watch them at home. It's kind of just a weird year for me. So I'm in there. I want to see what gets nominated for the Oscars, but at this point, I will check out this movie if you recommend it, and I'll check it out. But haven't seen it, so
it's fair. Supporting actor Daniel Kaluuya wins for Judas and the Black Messiah. He was up against Baron Cohen in Trial, Jared Leto in The Little Things, Bill Murray in On the Rocks, and Leslie in One Night in Miami. I would have given it to Bill Murray in On the Rocks. One Night in Miami was my favorite movie of the year, but Bill Murray in On the Rocks is fucking great. He's so good at that movie. Cody, if you haven't seen that, you should watch that movie. I think you would actually like it.
What category?
Supporting actor.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is I honestly, I didn't expect this. I didn't love Judas and the Black Messiah. I liked it. I thought the performances were the strongest part. He's probably the strongest part of the movie. But I don't know. I don't know. I would have given it to Leslie or Bill Murray, personally. Cody, any thoughts?
I would have nominated somebody else from One Night in Miami. But
That's
my opinion.
to answer Nick's question in the chat, there's supporting is they don't split it up because who gives a shit? The Golden Globes are weird. Koho.
Yeah, he's sort of become the Oscar favorite. My big thing with this movie is that I like it, and this performance is really good. I just don't think that it should be up for this Oscars. I also don't think the Martanian should be up for this Oscars or the little things.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother bag of work.
Right. I think all the 2021 movies that are coming out and getting into the race are going to start winning all the awards because they are great. But like, I would have given this to Leslie. I think this is Leslie's Oscar. He's phenomenal in One Night Miami. I also really like Bill Murray. I really like Sacha Baron Cohen in Trial of Chicago 7. I personally think he's the lead of the movie, so I get why they put everyone in supporting, but like to me, it's him and Redmayne are the two leads of that movie, and so I think it's category fraud. But I would have given it to Leslie. I also like Jared Leto in The Little Things. I like him.
I did too.
I thought he was good. I liked that he was nominated because I like to see the recognition for him. For a second there, I thought they were going to say his name and that everything was just going to go cuckoo bananas. But I'm glad Daniel Kaluuya won. He's great in that movie. He's a great actor. Yeah, it's nice to see him win an award.
Yeah. All right. The last big one we're going to talk about, and then we'll speed through the rest of them. Best Director, Chloe Zhao wins for Nomadland. She wins against Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman, David Fincher for Mank, Regina King for One Night in Miami, Aaron Sorkin. Yeah, this is I'm cool with this. That movie, she directed the shit out of that movie. She really did. So if she goes on to win the Oscar, I'll be happy with it. My personal choice would be Regina King, but I'm cool with this. Cody.
Regina King. I wish Regina King would have won. I like that movie better. I understand there's probably whatever came from it. I think it was a fine movie. I didn't see anything insanely special from that movie that I didn't see from One Night in Miami. So if I'm picking based on that when they're close, I'm gonna go Regina King.
Go.
Chloe Zhao's gonna win the Oscar. She's the front runner for a reason. She did a great job directing Nomadland. It's a very I think that movie falls on both McDormand and also Zhao's directing because there's not a lot of real established actors in that movie, and she brings out really good performances in a lot of the people in the background. She does a lot with that movie, so I get why she's winning. I would have liked Regina King or Emerald Fennell. I think both of them direct the absolute shit out of their movies. But yeah, I'm okay with Chloe Zhao winning. She's great.
And I'm okay with the top 3 people wanting to win the awards be women. Because that's
a nice change of pace.
Let's make that happen. Okay. So I'm just going to run down the rest of these. Best Screenplay, Aaron Sorkin. Of course. Best Picture, Animated, Soul does win over Onward. I'm sorry, Nick.
And The Croods. The Croods didn't win. What are we doing?
Shocker. Minari wins foreign film, even though it's from the United States of America. Because
that category, another round deserved to win. Minari won on category fraud.
Ross win for Soul, which is unexpected, but I love it. And then we get into the best song and all the TV stuff. So overall, I say some interesting stuff. Yeah. Overall, I think we have a better picture now of what we're going to see with the Oscars. Yeah. And we'll be here to talk about the Oscars when they happen. So get ready for that. But guys, we're going to wrap up the show because we have other stuff to do. So thank you for being here and watching the show. Thank you to Nick, who was here earlier, to Cody, and to Koho, and to Maggie on the couch. Guys, we will see you next week. Same time, same channel. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're still here? It's over.
She's out of our hair, and just when I dare to care, she says, au contraire, you're my pair of friends. I love you.
Keep it together, man.